All right, look at this hat. Lions, not sheep. 100% correct.
Correct.
I have a question for you, man. What is the biggest lesson you have learned in your life up to this point?
Never, ever watch the news. Never watch the news. Don't go on the internet and get news. Because if you do, it's going to take over your consciousness.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to pick a side. See, that's the news. There's one side, another side. There's my advice, go to the beach with your friends, listen to music. I'm not saying get off the internet, just don't watch the news.
Go crazy. Yeah.
My favorite lesson life has taught me is that everything comes full circle. It all starts and ends with you. So if you want to change the world, you gotta change yourself. You want someone to love you, you gotta love yourself. It keeps going, but yeah, it all comes back to you, and it all starts with you. Love yourself, because it does come back around.
That's the biggest lesson that I've learned in life this far. I would have to say that it is being yourself and not internalizing rejection. And what I mean by that is the lesson that I had to learn was that no matter how much I tried to conform to what other people, what I thought would make them happy, being myself would have been the best thing, because it would have gotten rid of the people who were not meant to be in my life a long time ago, instead of being a people pleaser and having the wrong type of company in my life. Not realizing that God has already called me to be who I am unapologetically. And I'm just now learning that. And I'm really glad that it's still a lesson that I was able to learn before it was too late for me.
I learned this year is just putting myself first. Don't care what nobody got to think about you all the time. And just stay focused.
Hi, everyone. I guess the biggest lesson I've learned is to be strong and brave and courageous, and also to fight through any adversity that you've gone through in your life, and never give up or give in any way, shape, or form, especially for me, my faith. And that it's just what keeps me going every day, is knowing that I can overcome anything, no matter what comes my way, no matter how hard it is. I will not give up or give in to it. I will always find a way to defeat it, to let it go, and not let it control me or use me in any way. So take care. Bye.
Biggest lessons that I have learned in these time periods has been to always believe in yourself, no matter what. Trust in yourself and go for it. And the second one is learn the mastery in controlling your inner reactions. Learn of your internal state, connect with it, discover it and how it may come out into the world as we are growing and learning in our growth. And then learn to master these connections. So then that way we can act appropriately in a right way that fosters goodness and growth, and not one that is just reactive and destructive.
My biggest life lesson was to remain patient and listen so that I can have a better understanding and comprehension.
Yo, what's up, Divine Family? My name's Riley, and my homie Drew reached out and asked me to make this video and pretty much just share one of the most important lessons that I've learned in life thus far. So that to me would be always watch what you're thinking. The mind can't think positive and negative at the same time. We live in a duality. There's a polar opposite to everything. So anytime that something happens that's negative and really wants to bring you down, just look for the positive in that negative situation. Sometimes you got to reach a little bit farther to find the positive in it, but usually at the end of the day it ends up making you grow. It happens for a reason. It makes you better. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That saying's so true. So anytime that something negative happens, just remember to keep tricking your brain to think of the positive thing. And the more that you do that successfully, the more that it literally rewires your brain to be on the positive side of the duality of life. And the more, like I said, the more you do that, the easier it gets. So I would say that that's just a good tip that I've learned, to kind of always come back to my center, keep myself calm, and try to control the way that I think. I try not to judge others. If a thought pops up that makes me want to judge, I instantly try to think of something different that's more positive and think, no, that, don't think negative. And the more that you do that, the better. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And then another thing, if you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed, just meditation's huge, or just breathing in general. In through the nose, let it out through the mouth, through a sigh. Do that 7 to 10 times and you're going to feel like a whole new person. So anytime I'm feeling overwhelmed, that's literally what I do to keep my mind tricked on to that higher frequency. Peace.
What's going on, Divine Family? You're with Lance Cruz, and I was asked to share the biggest lesson that I've learned that up to this point in my life. And I have so many, but the biggest, most important lesson I have for anybody and everybody is so common, but be who you are. Stay true to yourself. That's all I got. If I can give anybody a message, that's it. I learned the hard way. I fit in so many groups, cliques, clubs, and I could fit in, but I wasn't happy. And everybody gets successful at one point, but you don't realize how much further you can go when you are true to yourself, how much connections you can make. Stay true to yourself. The right people will love you. They will find you. You will attract real friends instead of fake friends because you're being authentic. Stay true to yourself. Love and light. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here, puppy. I think he's being camera shy. Come here. There he go. Yeah. Something for the Divine Family pets or whatever it is. Shout out to Drew. Love and light.
The biggest lesson I've learned in my life is to be yourself unapologetically. Don't change who you are for other people, because at the end of the day, you have to love yourself for who you are.
What I've learned up until this point of working on self-improvement for 2 years as a 19-year-old man is that every single failure you go through is just a small lesson for bigger results. And that motivation and momentum can bring you anywhere, but discipline and taking action will give you that good feeling in life.
All right. Here we go.
Dude, what so I feel like the motivational, inspirational thing I want to share is that one of the most important things you can do on this earth is let people know they're not alone.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like that just because sometimes when you're like sky high and shit, you feel like, fuck, no one understands me or nobody feels what I'm feeling. But you know what, dude, if you like pick yourself up and you look around, like you'll see that there's plenty of other people who are going through what you're going through. Or the other cool part too is like once you figure it out and you get through that shit, you'll realize that, there's somebody else that can lean on the thing that you went through. So then you get to share that gift that you gained.
There you go.
So that's what I got.
There you go.
The Fire Brigade.
There you go. Fire Brigade.
Peace and blessings to everybody. It's your favorite Pharaoh, Godson of Pharaoh, aka BLL Pharaoh, the brother Drew Motiv, who was starring in the beautiful movement of Divine Family, has asked me to give a brief synopsis of what would be the best lesson that I have learned in my lifetime. And I would say, number one was to know thyself. Knowing thyself encompasses a whole range of physical, spiritual, and mental stability, understanding, accepting the bad that's in you and conquering it, accepting the good that's in you and letting it shine and be flourishing. Knowing thyself means that you can't be afraid of what's inside you. You know, we all got demons, we got angels. We have to conquer those demons, which is that lower self. Keep our foot down on them because we need them, but we need them to keep a balance within the spiritual and mental realms of physical life. Your higher self, which is purely divine, which is the Most High creator within you. Once you connect with your higher self, there's nothing else that is needed to be done. You have learned. Therefore, you are what you have learned. The second lesson would be having faith. And faith within the Most High, definitely faith within yourself. But in knowing self, you understand that faith is just that. You being the truth that you're learning. Belief is a system. Faith is the next level of that system. Fruition would be the continuing formula of truth. You being the truth that you have attained to reach. And that is what the higher self is. That divine energy that can't be changed, switched, passed away, or anything of this nature. So that would be my synopsis in the life lessons that I've learned. Biggest in my life is to know thyself and to have faith. And with that, to my divine family, salute, peace and blessings, and everything will be just fine.
So for me, one of the most important things I've learned to this day is that you should never stop growing, like never stop self-improving, because there's never enough room for growth, you know. I noticed like a lot of the people in my life that have problems, and like I feel like everyone, you know, has their own little thing, but that can all be fixed as long as, you know, you kind of just self-reflect, kind of just go outside like on a nice day like today, you know, and just literally just breathe, you know, be with nature, just so stuff like that, you know, just never stop. We're always up, bro. We're always growing.
Biggest lesson that I've learned in life so far is to not be afraid to take risks, because when you take risks, you don't exactly know where you'll end up, but it's worth it. It's worth taking a leap of faith, especially if it's something that you believe in, because 9 times out of 10, it's gonna work out. And even if it doesn't work out, the worst thing that can happen is you try again, you know, especially if it's something that you're passionate about. I've taken a lot of risks in my life, and the biggest one was probably resigning from USPS. I was there for 14 years, and just last year I resigned and I went full-time doing music, and it worked out great. I'm in Vietnam where it's 80 degrees every day. The cost of living is low. I'm able to make a great living and still tour. So yeah, take that risk. That's my advice to anybody.
Hi, my loves. I wanted to jump on and share a little fun, we'll say life wisdom with you guys. I was asked by Drew to share the biggest lesson I've ever learned in my life, and I would like to call it the most valuable lesson I've ever learned. And that is, if you must predecide in your favor. If you must predecide what's unfolding for you, let it be in your favor. Because we are truly so powerful. We are the creators of our own reality, and really truly applying that and following it has allowed for me to experience the most magical and delicious unfoldment in this life. So Once again, if you must pre-decide, let it be in your favor. Have a great day, you guys. Love you.
My biggest lesson in life right now is to take a minute and just slow down and pause and ground myself and be in the present moment, in the here and now, with whatever is in that moment. And sometimes the time to jump and to trust the universe, but sometimes just take a minute to ground yourself and remember where you are, and that it's a privilege to be right where you are in that moment with whatever.
Hey, what's up, brother Drew? You asked me for a quick video about what's my biggest lesson I've learned in life, and it's don't spend too much time in the wrong place. Whether it's the wrong relationship, with the wrong friends, at the wrong job, all of these lead to a big waste of time that's stopping you or me from my purpose. And essentially, I had to find all the right places to spend my time to be successful.
Hello, this is the Wizard. I think the biggest lesson or most important thing I've learned in life is just be yourself, but also talk to people, you know? And be nice. But the main thing is just talk to people, interact with them. Everyone has a story, right? So learn it, you know? Interact with them, be kind, know who you are, who you're with, all that. And you'd be surprised what kind of life lessons you can learn from that, you know? That's kind of the core principle of what I do, is I like talking to people. I like learning from them. So everything I've learned in life has kind of come from that, more or less.
I think an important lesson that I've learned in my life is to take people where they're at, not where you want them to be. Anybody can be going through anything, and you might not know about it. Somebody could really be struggling, and maybe they just don't talk about it. And if they're having a bad day and that seems to reflect on you, maybe they just don't know how to deal with that the right way. And the best way to approach that is with compassion and empathy. So just try to be nice to people no matter what.
What's up, Divine Family? One of the biggest lessons I've learned in life, I actually grew up with this saying. My mom would say it to me all the time. Sometimes it came out harshly, but it makes sense now, from one end to the other. She said to me, how could you love yourself? Oh, how could you love anyone else if you can't love yourself? And that saying sat with me for so many years, blankly. But as I've evolved and come together and dove into myself, I truly understand today why loving thyself truly matters. You have to choose your inner peace, your inner truth first and foremost, to truly align for what's best for you.
The biggest lesson that I've learned in life is that you got to get up and you got to do it yourself. If you don't get up and do it, nothing's ever going to change. You got to believe in yourself and believe that you can and you will be able to do it if you believe that. And be humble and don't be scared to ask people for help when you need help, because that's also a part of getting through and being humble and humbling yourself.
Friend, I mean, there's going to be those people that are going to try and put you down, you know. What's important is you don't let them.
The biggest lesson I've learned in life so far is to realize that you are more than your thoughts, and your thoughts can't control you. You can control your thoughts. And once you understand that, you can control your life and how you respond to life, because we all have our own feelings and reactions, and that comes with a bunch of thoughts. But if we're not totally identified and wrapped up in our thinking, then we can at least move through those, belief patterns and systems and come out the other end and with a more positive mindset. Love you.
You spread happiness and
and good frequencies to all of the homies, all the people. So I wanted to make this video for Divine Family real quick. He asked me what's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life. And I would say that one of the biggest lessons that I'm going through right now, at least, I don't know if this is going to stay true to my whole life, but one of the biggest lessons I'm learning right now is that, you know, not to compare yourself to people.